being of tremendous intelligence, probably one of the rulers of this city. 3 different races or 3 mutations of the same race?
Come on, Doctor, there's no time for philosophizing.
Yes, you're quite right. Let's get back to the space now.
Right, well, I have now heard the statements from both sides. I think you should know that on my way here, I contacted Earth and had a check made of planetary records. Now, obviously, an error has occurred. A faulty computer on Earth has allocated this planet both for colonization and for mineralogical exploitation. It will therefore be my duty to judge this case upon its merits.
It's the Master!
Since, however, the issues are extremely complicated, I shall need time to consider my decision. This tribunal stands adjourned.
Why are you impersonating the adjudicator?
My dear Doctor, I am the adjudicator.
Rubbish.
What are you doing here anyway? Did the Time Lord send you?
Nobody sends me anywhere. I'm a free agent.
So you've at last succeeded in escaping from your long exile on Earth. Congratulations. What are your plans now?
Well, my immediate plans are to expose you as an imposter.
That would be very foolish of you. My credentials are immaculate.
Forged, of course.
Of course, but immaculate. May I see your credentials?
Don't be absurd.
What? No interplanetary travel permit? No registration for your TARDIS? No personal identification?
Bureaucratic mumbo-jumbo.
Maybe, but in this regimented age of ours, essential. Without these, my dear Doctor, you do not exist. I could have you sent back to Earth as a prisoner.
Is that what you plan to do?
No, not unless you force my hand. I think you'd be well advised to keep silent, for both our sakes. Now, if you'll excuse me. The tribunal will reconvene. Well, I have had time carefully to consider the statements that have been put before me. On the one hand, while I have every sympathy with the aspirations of the colonists, there can be little doubt that their stay here is not proving a success. On the other hand, we have this planet, rich in duralinium, a mineral that is much needed on Earth. I therefore have no alternative but to rule that colonization on this planet is unsuitable, and the settlers will leave here as soon as possible.
Yes, interesting. Lots of familiar faces in this one. This is, I believe, the penultimate story of the season, Colony in Space, and it's the first time since the Doctor was exiled to Earth that we've had a trip in the TARDIS to outer space. I love that scene at the very opening of this sequence where the Doctor and Jo come out of that cave, and the location is quite probably one of the famous Doctor Who quarries, which of course sort of stood in for planet landscapes on several occasions. I believe that the girl that we saw there with the long hair would go on to star in Coronation Street. And when I said there were lots of familiar faces there, I mean actors who I think have been in other stories of Doctor Who. There was the actor who played Tyler in the Dalek invasion of Earth there, and a couple of others. I can't quite remember the exact stories, but lots of familiarity there. And wasn't the interplay between the Doctor and the Master wonderful? The intensity in their performance is second to none, and I just love the raised eyebrow from Roger Delgado. I can't do it at all. Sadly, I'm going to have to practice that. But so effective, especially in that wonderful black cloak he was wearing. Yeah, that was a very interesting one. And Katie, of course, looking stunning as always in that stripy top and gold belt. Yeah, this, as I say, was a bit of a game changer with a story that was not set on Earth. Something obviously to do with the colonists, and I believe the other villain, who I think was the sort of commander of one of the armies there. I thought he had a wonderful face, didn't he? Real sort of villainy there. Quite political, I think, this one, in some respects, in terms of the sort of the themes that it was dealing with at the time. But yeah, I enjoyed that one.